We're under a red flag situation here at Lucas Oil Raceway. We were sailing right up until this moment. We have a 3-car incident involving the 40 of Tim Andrews, who was multiple laps down. In fact, a total of 5 laps at the time of the crash. The 62 of Michael Annett, who was running 6th, and the 66 of Steven Wallace, who was running in the 11th spot. And as you can see, we got 3 race cars that are torn up. All right, let's show you what happened. It's already in progress there, and there's Steven as he just couldn't get it turned.
And Steven got a little bump from the 30 car and through the car. Watch this. It's like this is a little late, but he had gotten a bump through the car on the right rear, had to turn right to try to save the car, and drifted right into the 62.
The 40 car and the 62 car got together somehow, were parked backwards up against the wall. See the 30 car and the 66 racing, the 30 hit the 66 in the back a little bit. And there was nowhere for anybody to go. Massive wreck here.
Yeah, if we go back a little bit earlier, we can see that there was contact with the 30 and 66 because neither of them could get slowed down. And believe me, the spotters jump on the radio and say, "Shut it down, shut it down."
And here's what you were talking about a little bit earlier, down the backstretch.
Down the backstretch, and the spotters identify it. They jump on the radio, a little bump at the same time. That's where it throws the 66 over on the right rear. See the left front tire? He's turning to the right. Nothing he could do.
Yeah, I mean, that was just racing between the 30 and the 66. The 30 bumped the 66, got him sideways. The 66 was trying to get down below a net, and he was already sideways from the bump. And this happened. We need to go back and try to find out what happened to the 62 and the 40. That was a massive crash before these guys got to it.
Let me be clear. James Busher did absolutely nothing wrong.
That's right.
Typical short track racing where you just can't shut down quick enough.
Yeah, now we do not have the beginning of this crash between the 40 and the 62. I know it's rare. And the fact that we had one incident last year that we didn't see from beginning to end, and this is our first one this year. So we'll have to wait and get the chance to talk to Michael Annett and to Tim Andrews to get their versions as to what started this. We saw the tail end involving the 66, and we're under a red flag. Under a red flag situation here at Lucas Oil Raceway after a 3-car incident involving what's left of the 62 of Michael Annett, the 40 of Tim Andrews, and the 66 of Steven Wallace, as all 3 cars are on the hook. And we've got the back end of this deal as the 66 just could not get low enough on the track to avoid the contact.
It's just a matter of the 66 Steven Wallace identifying that there's a wreck there early, gets out of the gas, and James Busher tries to get out of the gas at the same time. A little bit of contact, and pushes him.
The 40 and the 62 are crashed up against the wall. Both of these drivers, the 30 and the 66, are trying to get down below the accident, trying to get on the brakes, and look, just get sideways.
Yeah, you could see the front wheels. Steven just was not able to get it to turn.
Well, he was steering into the spin. Yep. And that's the only option you have on corner entry. And eventually the wall comes to you.
Well, let's check in with Jim Noble. He has caught up with Steve Wallace.
All right, I hate to use the term innocent bystander because Steve Wallace had a pretty good run going and you were getting better. What did you see in front of you?
I don't really know what happened, man. Our Fiber Energy Toyota, we kept working on it all night long, kept making it better and better. And my spotter came on the radio, said there's a crash in front of you. And at that time, me and James Busher were racing hard. We raced for about 15, 20 laps. I finally got underneath up and got him cleared. And he bumped me a little bit getting into turn 3. And at the same time, my spotter said, check up, check up, check up. And I got in the brakes, and the car got sideways. And it just slid all the way through the corners, and nothing I could do. I tried to nail it, to accelerate away from Michael. It's just one of those racing deals. I hate it for both of our cars, the pilot car was running good, and the 5-hour car, we were making it better. It's just one of those things, man. It sucks.
You've been down this road before, and I know it's very frustrating. How are you feeling right now?
I'm ready to go the next week, man. We're going to build us another car and, get those things tuned up for Iowa. Iowa's one of my favorite racetracks, and we're going to build another fast 5-hour Toyota and, keep on digging to the end of the year.
All right, that's Steve Wallace, obviously frustrated, on to Iowa for that team.
Well, the reason he's frustrated also is he's been good here at Lucas Oil Raceway. In 4 prior starts, he has 3 top 10s, one of those in the top 5.
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's hard lump to swallow here, but it's a product of the environment. And we were just talking about how calm things were and things were rolling along. And Rusty, you said that we were going to get a caution, but this isn't what you expected.
I told you guys we're going to have another caution. I just didn't think it was going to be my cars.
You didn't realize it was going to cost you a couple $100,000.
Do you guys have any idea how much money this just cost me?
Yeah, I do.
I do. It's huge. The big problem is how hard the crew guys have got to work to get this thing all back together. That's a lot of wrecked up stuff.
All right, stay with us. We'll come back and see how fast we can get this cleaned up and check in on everybody else in the crash. Our red flag situation here at Lucas Oil Raceway continues as we have completed 176 of the 200 laps. That's what's left of the 62 of Michael Annett's car, and Jim Noble's caught up with Michael.
Well, Michael Annett had a top 10 run going, a two-tire call got you up front. Then it was hard to see what happened from our vantage point. What was yours?
You know, I got loose there underneath the 40. I think we were lapping them for about the 10th time tonight, and you know, we did take 2 tires. We didn't have 4, and I knew you know, the 18 and the 22 were behind me on 4, and I just didn't want to waste any time. You know, I got a couple car lengths on them after we battled, I think, for about 50 laps door to door. So, you know, I was probably, you know, over aggressive on my part. It's just a shame to tear up a really good race car. Actually, 2 Lucas Oil Racing cars, and I heard Steven, I guess, he got jacked up behind, you know, slowing down for the wreck, and the guy behind him didn't see it and tore us both up. But it's just a shame. But we got Iowa next weekend. That's a big one for us.
You did not look real happy when you got out of the car. Frustration with Tim Andrews, or as you said, a little frustration with yourself too?
Well, he came over to the window and he said we ruined both our nights. And I said, but your night was ruined before the race even started because you were planning on running around 20 miles off the pace. So, you know, and I just don't appreciate anyone coming up to my window like that. You know, we can talk about it, you know, out here afterwards. So I was going to make sure right away he knew that wasn't cool with me.
All right, that's Michael Annett, as he said, going home to Iowa next weekend.
Well, and his worst finish since Ricky Fires came on as his crew chief has been 19th. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit worse than that tonight as the cars have refired and we are back under a yellow flag situation. Jim, you've caught up with Tim Andrews?
I certainly have, Marty. Now for the other side of the story, Michael Annett we just spoke with. He said he has some issues with you as far as the way you were running. He said he was lapping you for about the 10th time tonight. What's your response?
Yeah, well, we were slow, and I knew they were coming, and I was trying to best to stay out of my way, stay out of their way, but, you know, I guess he was a little ambitious on charging the corner, and I thought I was giving him plenty of room, but it's a pretty wide racetrack, and unfortunately we're in this position. The Key Motorsports guys, they work real hard. There's not very many of them, and this is a big hit for us.
Did you go up to his window to apologize, or were you trying to say something else? Because he apparently had an issue with that.
Yeah, I didn't think I was very smart, and I wanted to let him know about it right away.
All right, that's Tim Andrews, his side of the story, guys.
All right, so our red flag situation, as we've said, is over. It lasted 12 minutes, 34 seconds. We're back under the yellow caution as we'll get the pit stops. And